Hey everybody, welcome back or to the channel. My name's Mike, and today we're going to take a look at the YSL Young Thug case. Let me just start by saying this is going to be a 30,000 foot overview of the case. A lot of water has already gone under the bridge, so it won't be possible to cover every detail that has occurred up to this point in this ongoing real-life drama. I also want to remind everyone that these are real men whose lives are on the line, so I want to be respectful to them and their families as we cover this topic today. Remember, everyone is presumed innocent until found guilty in a court of law, and that includes Fulton County, Georgia as well. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Before we jump into the case, let's talk about who Young Thug is. Young Thug is actually Jeffery Williams, known professionally as Young Thug. He is a popular rapper from Atlanta, Georgia. He was born in 1991 and grew up in a tough neighborhood. Young Thug became famous for his unique style of rap and fashion choices. He's won several awards, including a Grammy, and has worked with many other big names in music. Young Thug started his own record label called YSL, which stands for Young Stoner Life. This label has signed many other rappers and helped them become famous too, but now YSL is at the center of a big legal case that has shocked the music industry. Now, you might be wondering what RICO means. RICO stands for Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act. It's a law that was created in 1970 to fight organized crime. At first, it was mostly used against the mafia, but now it's used in all sorts of cases. RICO allows prosecutors to charge multiple people who are part of the same criminal organization, even if they didn't personally commit all the crimes. The idea is to take the whole group down and not just one person at a time. In this case, prosecutors are saying that YSL isn't just a record label, but also a dangerous street gang. They're using RICO to try to prove that Young Thug and others in YSL work together to commit crimes. On May 9th, 2022, Young Thug and 27 other people associated with YSL were indicted. An indictment is when a group of people called a grand jury decides there's enough evidence to charge someone with a crime. The indictment was huge, 88 pages long. It listed 56 counts of different crimes that prosecutors say YSL members committed. These crimes include murder, armed robbery, and drug dealing. The indictment also said that YSL was part of a larger gang called the Bloods. Young himself was charged with 8 counts. The prosecutors said he was one of the founders and leaders of YSL, and that he helped plan and carry out many criminal activities. Young Thug was arrested in his home in Atlanta on the day the indictment came out.
It's a video on WSB Tonight at 11.
Now, here's the latest today. A judge held an initial hearing on the charges this morning. This is video from court of Young Thug in a blue jumpsuit. The rapper and 28 other defendants charged in a 56-count indictment alleging street gang activity, including robbery and murder. And Channel 2's Michael Seiden and investigative reporter Mark Winnie broke this story on WSB Tonight last night. Michael is live now in downtown Atlanta at the Fulton County Courthouse.
So, Michael, the thing is, just a few hours ago, investigators, they held that news conference, and this is part of a wide-ranging gang crackdown.
George, this investigation has been going on for months, and take a look at this. This is that 88-page indictment, 56 charges ranging from murder, armed robbery, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Of course, those 2 rap superstars, the headliners on this indictment. But the top prosecutor here in Fulton County says this indictment will help get gang members off the street who she says are responsible for 80% of the violence we see in Metro Atlanta.
Another famous rapper, Gunna, who is also part of YSL, was arrested soon after. Many other people named in the indictment were also taken into custody. The arrests shocked the music world. Fans of Young Thug and Gunna couldn't believe what happened. Many people in the hip-hop community spoke out, saying that the prosecutors were unfairly targeting rappers and using their lyrics against them. Young Thug's lawyer said that his client was innocent and that YSL was just a record label, not a gang. He promised to fight the charges in court, which is exactly what he has been doing up until this day. The prosecutors have a lot of evidence, they say, that proves YSL is a gang. One big part of their case is Young Thug's song lyrics. They say that some of his songs talk about criminal activities that YSL actually did. For example, they point to a line where Young Thug raps, "I never killed anybody, but I got something to do with that body." The prosecutors say this is Young Thug admitting to being involved in a murder. They also have text messages, social media posts, and witnesses who say they will prove that YSL committed crimes. Some of the evidence comes from people who used to be part of YSL, but are now working with prosecutors as part of their plea deals for reduced or dropped charges. One of the biggest debates in this case is whether it's fair to use rap lyrics as evidence. Many people say that rappers often exaggerate or make up stories in their songs and that it's not fair to treat their lyrics as confessions. They argue that this unfairly targets rappers and ignores the artistic nature of their work. On the other hand, prosecutors argue that if someone admits to a crime in a song, it should be considered like any other statement. They're not targeting rap music, but using all available evidence. This debate has led to discussions about changing laws to protect artists' freedom of expression. Some states are even considering laws that would limit how song lyrics can be used in court. The case has a big impact on YSL and the music industry as a whole. With Young Thug still in jail, YSL's music releases have slowed down. Many artists are now more careful about what they say in their songs, worried that their lyrics might be used against them in court. The case has also sparked conversations about how the justice system treats rappers and hip-hop culture. Some people say that prosecutors often misunderstand or unfairly target rap music, especially when the artists are black. Many in the music industry are watching this case closely, worried about what it might mean for artistic freedom and the future of rap music. Since the arrests in May of 2022, the case has been slowly moving through the legal system. The original YSL case included 28 defendants. However, many of those individuals' cases have had charges dropped, have had plea deals, or have been severed. Having your case severed means that those individuals are having their cases tried separately from the rest of YSL. As of today, there are now 6 defendants remaining as part of the original YSL case currently being tried. There have been 3. That's right. 3 judges assigned so far to this case. Judge Earl Glanville was the first judge, and he had to be recused due to a secret ex parte meeting with prosecutors and a witness. Actually, there was a 4th judge, now that I'm thinking about it, Judge Rachel Krause. So the second judge in the trial was the Honorable Judge Rachel Krause, who recused Glanville and assigned the case to Judge Shakura Ingram. The Honorable Judge Shakura Ingram, the 3rd judge in this trial, had to recuse herself less than a day after being assigned the case due to allegations from a former deputy who works in her courtroom. Our current judge, as of the recording of this video, is our 4th and hopefully final judge, the Honorable Judge Paige Reese Whitaker. Judge Whitaker is the judge who took over when the Honorable Judge Ingram recused herself from the trial. In a surprising turn of events, in December 2022, Gunna accepted a plea deal. This means he agreed to plead guilty to a lesser charge in exchange for a lighter sentence. Gunna was sentenced to 5 years in prison, but he was released after serving about 7 months. As part of his plea deal, Gunna had to say in court that YSL was involved in gang activity. However, he didn't have to testify against anyone else. This plea deal was controversial, with some people calling Gunna a snitch for admitting YSL was a gang. Gunna's lawyer said that his client maintained his innocence and only took the deal to get out of jail.
You affiliated with YSL around 2016. Is that true as it pertains to you, Mr. Kitchens?
Yes, ma'am.
YSL is a music label and a gang, and you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance of the gang.
Yes, ma'am.
You were present when law enforcement officers stopped the vehicle in which you were present along with Jeffery Williams, wherein hydrocodone, methamphetamines, and a firearm were recovered. These items did not belong to you.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you acknowledge the following statement? I recognize, accept, and deeply regret that my talent and music indirectly furthered YSL the gang to the detriment of my community. YSL as a gang must end. Is that your statement or acknowledgement?
Yes.
Young Thug has maintained his innocence throughout this case. His lawyers say that he's being unfairly targeted because of his fame and his music. They argue that YSL is simply a successful record label, not a criminal organization. Young Thug's defense team has challenged the use of his lyrics as evidence. They say that his songs are works of art and shouldn't be taken literally. They've also questioned the reliability of some of the prosecution's witnesses, saying some of these folks might be lying just to get better deals for themselves. The defense has also pointed out Young Thug's positive contributions to his community. They say he's helped many young artists start their careers and has given back to his neighborhood in Atlanta. While we wait for the painfully slow legal process to do its work, it's worth thinking about the bigger picture. This case isn't about Young Thug or YSL. It's about our society and how it deals with issues of crime, art, and race. Some people say this case shows that we need to be tough on gang violence. They argue that if rappers are involved in real crimes, they should face real consequences, no matter how famous they are. Others say the case shows how the justice system unfairly targets black artists and misunderstands hip-hop culture. They worry that cases like this could have a chilling effect on artistic expression. There's also a growing movement to change how rap lyrics can be used in court. Some states are even considering laws that would make it harder for prosecutors to use song lyrics as evidence. Supporters say this would protect artists' freedom of speech. As we wrap up, remember that this is an ongoing case. Things might change as new information comes out. It's important to keep an open mind and wait for all the facts before making judgments. This case raises a lot of big questions about our justice system and our culture. It makes us think about things like, how should we balance public safety with artistic freedom? Is it fair to use song lyrics as evidence in court? Are prosecutors unfairly targeting rappers and hip-hop culture? How does race play a role in a case like this? What impact will this case have on the future of rap music? These are complicated questions without easy answers. No matter how this case turns out, it's likely to have a big impact on how we think about these issues. As the case teeters on the brink of a mistrial on almost a daily basis, we should remember that as of this recording, this RICO trial is still ongoing. Young Thug continues to be held without bond in jail along with his 5 co-defendants. I'm sure there will be more videos about this trial from us here in the future. In the comments down below, let us know what you think about the guilt or innocence of the YSL 6. Do you believe this case should have ended in a mistrial already, or do you believe that the legal proceedings have been followed fairly and honestly by all the judges, honorable or not, including the Fulton County District Attorney's Office? Comment down below. I'm genuinely interested to hear your thoughts on this case.